We're going to kick off with Kornacki, NBC News national political correspondent. Steve Kornacki, he's fired up the big board for the final time this NFL season. That's actually quite sad. So let's heavyweight matchup here. We've seen this play before. The Chiefs have owned them in the past. What are we looking at on a macro level, Steve?
Yeah, don't worry. In 7 months, we'll have the season opener. So we already got the countdown for that. But this is a bit of a blast from the past and not so distant past. 2 years ago in the big game, it was the Eagles, it was the Chiefs, and it was a classic. It was a 38-35 victory for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, the first of the 2 back-to-back Super Bowls they've now won, seeking to become the first team in NFL history to go back-to-back-to-back, the three-peat. A possibility here for the Chiefs, but some things have changed since that game a couple years ago. If you're an Eagles fan, the big thing you're thinking is you got Saquon Barkley now. You got the explosive running back has totally changed that offense. And by the way, the Eagles defense, top ranked this year. That was not the case when they played the Chiefs a couple years back.
So what are the odds looking like? They're pretty tight, aren't they?
They are looking very tight. Let's put them up on the screen here. And if you don't speak gambling ease, we can tell you this means the Chiefs are a very slight favorite. If you were doing the point spread, they're favored by 1.5 points. So that's a very narrow game. Now, how about this, though? The Chiefs have been favored 15 times this season. How many of those games have they won? All 15. And the Eagles have been underdogs 3 times this season. How many of those have they won? All 3. Something's got to give.
So let's take a look at some of their past Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, so there is some history here, some dated history a bit for the Chiefs. Their very first Super Bowl win came, this was Super Bowl IV, 1970. Wow. Len Dawson, Hank Stram. They waited a whole half century. And now the modern dynasty with Patrick Mahomes. And, of course, Dylan, I'm sorry. I hate seeing this. You hate seeing this. We know who the Eagles beat in 2018 with the Philly special, the Patriots. But we don't have to talk about that now.
You mentioned Saquon, but we got to talk about the quarterbacks. You've got 2 of the best in the league right now, and one of the best of all time in Patrick Mahomes. How do they look against each other?
Yeah, and of course, we did see him in that game a couple years ago. And you remember, here's the stats this year, cumulatively, for these players here. Look, you see here, Mahomes with more yards than Hurts, but look out, Mahomes also double digits in the interceptions there. Hurts now, he got banged up at the end of the year. They both are running quarterbacks, or can be, but Hurts more so than Mahomes, at least, overall. Again, with the injury that he had late in the season, we'll see what that means for Hurts. But 2 years ago in the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts ran for 3 touchdowns. If they have that threat, the Eagles, along with Saquon, boy, that's a lot.
And I'm just curious, who do the refs favor?
Now, real quick, Steve, you got a trivia question for us.
Yes, so we talk about the back-to-back Super Bowls the Chiefs have won. So we say, how many teams in NFL history, including the Chiefs, have had that repeat, have gone back-to-back? Is it 5, is it 7, or is it 8?
I'm going to say 5. I don't think it happens much.
I would say 5, too.
I'm gonna go 8.
8?
Al thinks it's a lot.
Watch it beat
we got 2
7.
5s, we got 1 8. Nobody picked 7, but the answer, it is 8. 8 teams have done it here. You see, the Chiefs, the Pats. You got to go back here. It was about 25 years before. But yes, 8 teams have done it.
Once again, age has its
there's many. Steve, I don't want to put you out on a limb here, but, I make my bets based on your predictions.
Wow.
Who does Kornacki like on Sunday?
You're living dangerously there. But unlike elections, I get to tell you who I'm going for here. And how about this? I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's it.
I like the three-peat.
I would like to see a three-peat. I like when history's made.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Dylan's on board, too.
I'm still Eagles.
That's just because you like making that sound. Yeah, see, that's it. Thank you, Steve.
Steve, thanks so much. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.